Right, that's probably long enough. Hello, welcome to KSP Science Mode. This is the part 24. Going to be doing some stuff on Minmus and looking to Moho and Dres because we have two transfer windows coming up. This is in this evening's session is in lieu of Thursdays because I'm busy on Thursdays. So yeah, let's get started. So if we were to resume saved. Then we were in the process of sending a habitation module to Juna. No, sorry, to Minmus, sorry, and relieving the crew currently operating the science lab there. So I think we're going to continue with that. So I believe Minmus habitation module is currently here. Let's try and do this thing. So let's fly this. Right. So yeah, we are in orbit of Minmus. Currently in a 30-kilometer orbit, which is pretty good. I think we're relatively equatorial. That's our target here, Minmus Science Base. We want to land there, like around there somewhere. Ideally, like really close to the Science Base if we can. But before we do that, I'm just going to remind myself of the different. Okay, so the return / Skycrane is this one. Cool. So yeah, I don't think there's much we need to do here. So the next thing should stage that and all of these engines. I think so. Let's turn these on since we want to use them now. Now let's try this out. So we have 1900 delta V. I believe our TLUI is quite high, so we'll tweak the engines when we're in a lower orbit. But for now, let's just try reducing our orbit down to like, let's go down to 15 kilometers. I think 15 is safe, and it's a relatively low thing to do our deorbit from. Yeah, 15.1. Okay, we'll switch this to return / Skycrane. Hit 0 to extend the Skycrane solars, so we don't run out of power. And aside from a little bit of wobbling, seems to be fine. So yeah, we'll get ourselves into a nice lowish orbit. So if we go here and bit much. Let's they are 15.5 to 15.1. That's a nice low, relatively low orbit. It should be safe. It should be about 10 kilometers above the highest terrain obstacle. Yeah, so if we see how this behaves, if we kind of rotate towards maneuver, and since this burn is 0.8 seconds, so we can do with probably tweaking the. So we have about 17 thrust to weight ratio. We want like 5, about 5. I like to land on 5. So it's about we want about a third. So we want to set these to 30 to like 33. I think that's probably what we want to aim for. We want to make sure they're all set to the same, otherwise we'll have unbalanced thrust. They are 5.9. That gives us a 2-second burn, but then we don't have to. Alright, this will be the fun bit. Right, let's go and lower our orbit again. And then we're going to wait until an opportune time to attempt our landing, because that's where we want to get. This is where we want to go. But it might be just about to turn into the nighttime side, so we might be able to like sneakily land it before that happens. But it looks like it is able to rotate quite quickly, so that's good. It's just a zip down to our maneuver, and then we'll probably not do this quite so quickly. There you go, 15.6. That's pretty. That'll do. So we're in a relatively low orbit, and as I say, our target landing site is. It's about to go onto the nighttime side, so I feel like maybe we can it might be an idea to like, do we want to try and land it now, or do we want to try and wait until it's coming into daylight so we can do everything and then and then take off? I'm thinking, what do we do? Let's just go around to here, because they've got, yeah, so we'll go around to here, and I mean, if it's still daylight, I feel like we can land. So if we walk round to here and see what the, so I feel like it's probably going to be daylight for a little while yet, so we've probably got time to land it before it goes dark. We're just getting a bit close to the Terminator. I think what we'll do is we will. Yeah, I think it looks like it's getting dark there. So what I might do is I might switch to the landed base for now. See if we can't time warp to sunrise. Boink. How are we doing for science in here? 122. Not a lot of data. I'll have to refill that data at some point. So we'll send something to let it yeah, we'll have to send something to start getting data from different biomes to bring to it. But in the meantime, I don't think there is a warp to sunrise option, is there? So I guess if we just wait until sunrise happens. There we go. Right, so should hopefully be, yeah, the sun's just coming up now. Maybe a little bit more. I'll do. Always a boink. Right, that'll do. So let's switch back to our thing, which I think might be think it's a probe now. Does it think it's a probe? No, it's a ship, isn't it? I think that's the one. They're both called the same thing, which is really helpful. Yeah, this is the right one. Cool. Right, let's rename this while we're here, because calling it ship is we want to call it base. Accept. And I assume there's some naming convention going on here, which cool. Let's close this because whilst we're landing, we're going to be doing the landing the conventional way. I say conventional way. Right, where are we at the moment? We are zoomed out, which is good. Right, so we want to come around to here and then start. So yeah, about half of our orbital velocity, which is about 76, like so, and we'll fine tune this. We basically want to overshoot the lab. So not by this much. We want the lab to be about about here, so that when we fly over it, we can then kill our horizontal velocity and then just just come in vertically nearby is the plan. But obviously this is going to rotate around, so what we need to do is put this here, warp to say there. Let's bring this to say probably say there, because I feel like it's going to rotate a bit before we yeah, so the general idea is hopefully we'll be coming in. And we can set this as our target just so we there is no it does give you an ascending and descending node, even if they don't really have much of a okay, I just want to add the target markers on here so that we can keep track of it. But yeah, so essentially now we're going to be wanting to move this further on if it rotates too much. So if we walk to the maneuver, then yeah, you see we want to move a bit further on. So like so. That's roughly what we want to do. Do this on the map screen because I want to see where I want to try and get our make sure that our landing spot is ooh, what's the point? We've got 37 seconds, fine. We want to turn landing on so we see the marker on the map, because I want to try and get that so that we again we want to fly over it is the plan. I'll have to wait the last 20 seconds. There's our spot. We don't want it to go, we want it to be probably around about there, because it'll get closer to us as we approach. Right, so let's Right, so we're definitely coming into land. Our target is over there, 27.7 kilometers away. We don't want to be in target mode, I don't think. We want to be in surface mode. Right. Let's hit ground. Terrain altitude. Let's try and rotate ourselves so that we're. That is the opposite way I want to be. I mean, this thing should be symmetrical, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I do want to come in like about like that. Having said that, maybe just for the sake of, well, we're coming this way. Actually, it might make more sense to be coming this way because then we've got our longer side in the direction of motion. So yeah, once this thing passes under the zenith, is when we want to, like just after that, we want to. Only 1 minute 8 second suicide burn. Wow, it's quite long. Hold on. Let's just. Apologies for that. Right there, we can see our spot there, so. keeping an eye on that suicide burn, because if we go past that, then in theory we won't be able to. We will crash. So I'm just tempted to. Do I trust the suicide burn length? Okay, we are travelling quite fast. Well, that ain't bad, is it? 105.5 meters from target. I mean, I could try and get it a bit closer, but I don't know. I feel like that's probably good enough. Yeah, I think that works. Right, so we're down. 105 meters is yeah. I'm not gonna try and mess with that. Maybe do a little screen grab for potential. Yep, right. Yeah, so we're down. Without further ado, what we will do is we will do our. So I think in theory, if I hit 1, I think 1 is supposed to be ladder, isn't it? Yeah. Let's drop our ladder. Let's also switch to Have module and deploy its ladders. So the plan at the moment is to go and switch. So we're going to swap over the Kerbal. So there's some Kerbals in here who want to come over here. There's some Kerbals in here who are going to go over there. So I think we're going to start with t'other thing. So we're going to start with actually what we'll do is we will turn off. We will stop research here because we're going to have to restart it. We are going to EVA. Yeah, let's EVA Tandu. Let's turn off landing mode because no, I don't want to leave that on. So this is a potential fun bit because our return module has some EVA seats on it, and the idea is that these guys are going to sit in the EVA seats and basically like ride the thing back up into orbit and then dock with the return module. I don't know why this guy still has a parachute on him. Actually, they probably they might need parachutes in case because they're doing the return journey and the it makes sense for them to have parachutes. Let's just RCS and just RCS over there. Okay, so we want him to grab the ladder. Okay, hopefully he should be close enough now. So he's the pilot, so he's going to board the command seat. There we go. He is sat in there. Um, and apparently he gets his own little view as well. Cool. Right, we'll go and get the other two. So we EVA Dave. He's going to EVA out the back for some reason. I can never remember which of the hatches the the signs have the Kerbals actually come out of. But all right, zoom in and let's do the jetpack. Away we go. Okay. So so the idea is this is like where the little guys are gonna hang out. So the idea is like during the day they'll work in the lab, and then at night when at night they'll come to the hang, they'll chill out in here. Okay, he's boarded. So we just have the one more in here who needs to pop out. Yeah, so we'll leave their parachutes on because you never know, they might need them when they get back to Kerbin. So I forgot they had parachutes with them. Okay. So yeah, so the God damn it. You had one job, Kirk. Grab the bloody ladder. There we go. Right, it's grabbed, climb up, board the seat. So they are now all aboard the what will hopefully be a an incredibly stable and I mean like worst case scenario we can fly it in like vertical mode. I'm gonna try and transition to like we're gonna do like vertical takeoff and then we're gonna try and transition so that it's flying forwards rather than so they're kind of like riding on top of it rather than. But yeah, I have no idea what the G-force thing is for this, but I guess we'll find out. But right, yeah, so they're on there. Let's get these guys out. So let's just transfer him to here. Actually, no, it would make sense to transfer them all into this so they're on the right side. Right, let's show. Transfer to here, and then transfer both of these guys into there as well. Then let's stick the parachutes in there. They won't need them. They won't need them on Minmus. So Gamfrey is the. I feel like what we're gonna do is we're gonna get Camfrey out. We're gonna get them all out. We're gonna do like a little photo op with them and the guys on the thing as like a little reunion. Then the pilot's gonna chill out in here, and the scientist's gonna go in and go to work. Is the plan. So switch back to this. Let's turn the lights on. Or does that turn the lights on as well? Let's EVA you. No, did I not give them color coded things? Oh well. Cool. Let's switch back to this thing. Let's EVA Gilbert, our other scientist. You know what would be cool if you could if the habitation mod if you could if there was like a cargo part that was like uniform like spacesuits and you could store the different spacesuits so you could basically like or there'd be some functionality in the habitation module to actually to actually transfer the to actually change their uniforms like so you don't have to be in the Kerbal Space Center to do it. Right, let's do this. Let's get a nice little photo op for the little reunion and the handover. Cool. Right. So our two. This is our Camfrey is our pilot. So Camfrey is going to go and is going to go back into the into the habitation module because this is like he's not really needed at the moment. Like he doesn't need to be in the science lab to do science. Like the two scientists can do that. So he's going to like go and grab and chill out in here. And the two scientists are gonna. Pretty sure that's it. Two scientists, the relief crew. They're gonna head over and start getting back to work over here. So let's take off and let's go over there. The ladders don't quite reach the ground, but it's no matter. Again, it's Minmus, it's relatively easy to get you in there. And this will conclude our crew handover. And then the next thing is to get the old crew back into orbit. Yeah, the old crew back into orbit, rendezvous with the return module, and get them back to Kerbin, which is the somewhat experimental phase. Because again, I haven't tested that module in actual like flight yet, or at least in horizontal flight mode. I mean, in theory, it should be fine, but there we go. Grab on. Pop you in there. Reactivate. Oh, do you need a pilot in it to actually do anything at all with it? Is that what you need? Or do you need someone in the command mode? Do you need to transfer? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a bit silly. So you need someone in there in the command pod to actually let's just start research, and then can we transfer him back into there? Researching. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, you actually need someone in there. So there might be a reason to have the guy. I guess the commander needs to be on board. Like I mean, it doesn't really need it at the moment because again, like I guess we'll need it when we need to transmit. But I guess they can move between the command module, etc. They need to both be in there though. So right, switch back to this, and again, there's no quick saving here. So yeah, now we're just onto the takeoff, onto the return to orbit. So we have we're still on Hab module. Return Skycrane. We want to hit 1 and retract its ladder. I want to open this. I want to pin this here, so that we have potentially the ability to switch the control point, because I want to try converting it forward when we do the VTOL switch, which I'm going to try and do. But I'm going to do it once we've got a pretty decently high apoapsis and periapsis, or apoapsis. So we've got a few minutes to actually like figure it out. We also want to aim for 90, which is that way, which is this way on the nav ball. But at the moment, I just want to get some height before we do anything else. So yeah, because I don't know what forward means for this. So like I'm hoping forward is that way, but it might be that way, which would screw us. So fortunately, this thing should work in both vertical and yeah. Right. Do I want to just give this thing max throttle? Probably not, because I mean, like, it's going to be lighter when it's not carrying the payload. So I feel like I'll leave it as this. It should be right. Let's just do it. So right, switch and take off. Right, where's 90 gone? There it is. Let's okay, this is not great. Where's 90 gone? 90 is there. I need to... Again, that doesn't look right, does it? Okay, right, this is wait, you can control from here. Okay, that's why. I think we're controlling from a weird place. Right, are we still going? We're going down, so let's cancel that out. Right. Right, where is 90 gone? There is 90. Let's just... Right. Let's just drag prograde over here. Right. Let's just get our apoapsis far enough up and far enough away that we have some time to fiddle around before we hit it. Okay, that'll do 23. Let's try this out. So if we hit control point forward and try pointing it along 90 and see what we get. Okay, yeah, so it's wanting to go that way, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, that's it's not ideal. I was kind of hoping that forward would be facing forwards rather than facing sideways. I don't think there's a way of So I guess we should be flying it. I mean, I guess we can. No, let's just do it the normal way. So we'll close this, and I guess we've got 11 minutes till we have Apoapsis. Let's pretend that we're flying away. Let's for the sake of let's try. Let's just pretend that we're flying where we want to go. So in theory now, if we do this, I just kind of want to get a little thing of them flying, and which doesn't actually quite work, which is a bit annoying because it'd be nice if there was a way of like seeing which way control point forward would actually look. I guess you need to like try that on the what should we call it on the oh God, runway and the KSC. So I guess you'd have to like launch it and then just see what the control point thought it was, and then sort of tweak it that way. But it'd be nice if you could see what the control, like which direction the control point thought it was in the VAB. But anyway, let's do that for the sake of turn off aerodynamic forces, unpause and kill the engines because right, in theory if I hit 9 now it should go back to the way it was. There we go. And that's we're gonna fly it like that because I have better control over it. So again, we've got 11 minutes until apoapsis, which is nearly in orbit anyway. Out of maneuver. I guess try circularisation at 24. We've got loads of delta V, so we can like we can easily force an encounter. That'll do 24 24. We can easily force an encounter with the module ship. Because again, we've got like 3,000 delta V in this thing, like way more than we need. So that's a 4-second burn when we get to so in theory we point ourselves out of maneuver. Then hopefully that'll be, yeah, we're almost pointing radial in, which is I guess where we're going to want to be. But let's get ourselves into orbit and then sort out. Let's get ourselves into orbit and then sort out a. Yeah, that screenshot's going to be a little bit of a fib. I might use that for the video, even if it is a bit of a fib. Oh yeah, I can control from the. I can control from here, can't I? I don't need to control. I can control from the. I can control from the. Yeah, I can control from the docking port. That's another thing I forgot. Yeah, if you put docking ports on, you can just control from them, and that's an easy way of doing it. Well, I mean, we're a bit too close to the thing for me to reorganize it now, but I will do that going forward. Going forward. I'm such a comedic genius. But no, that makes sense. I need to remember that in future. Like that's part of the reason I put the docking port on was A, to have something to dock to, and B, you can use it as a control point. There we go. Right, so yeah, in theory, if we were to hit control from here, then hit switch to like lateral mode, and then if we were to say switch these up to like, what's our TWR at the moment? 10.86. That's more than you need. But if we were to say like point prograde now, ah yeah, much better, and they're also kind of in line with the engines as well. There you go. That's how you do it. Right, yeah, don't like just put a probe core on it, but then you control from the docking port. There you go. That's. I mean, I feel like taking a picture of this is not a fib now. So. Alright. Cool. So we'll just use this for the rest of the journey. This thing is ridiculous. Right. So we are in orbit. I guess we can see if there is. Well, let's set you as our target. So 0.6 degrees. Add maneuver. We're ascending, so we want to go down. There. Not so down. There you are. Oh wow, this thing has no idea what it's very confused as to what kind of delta V it thinks we have left. Okay, this is getting confused. I have a feeling okay. I have a feeling it's probably going to be a lot more stable if we control from here for now. There. So yes, I think the game is getting a bit confused because it's I guess because it thinks like only some of the engines are active or something. But yeah, that was a bit annoying. But yes, we are. It's not a very big burn, but we'll do it slowly. I guess we'll switch to the thing when we do yeah, we'll be flying it like horizontally when we do the docking. So it kind of works. It's just that yeah, the maneuver calculator just didn't really get how many delta V it had. I guess I was getting confused because if those other two engines were activated, then it wouldn't have any delta V at all because they'd be burning in perfect opposition to each other. We'll wait till we get to 5 seconds, and then just gradually do our burn. Right, that should zero out our... Yep, cool. Well, let's see... We'll try and do this thing on the daytime side. So if we add an orbit, okay, they're going. Okay, there might be a that. That's a possible candidate there. What was that? No, no radial. Right, so I mean that'll probably do. Separation. 0.3, 0.4, 0.1, 1.0, 0.9, 0.8, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.2, 80 meters per second. Right, yeah, so that is in 55 minutes. So I think there's probably time to quickly switch back to the Minmus Habitation module and boing, switch to the Hab module set. This should hopefully extend our... No, I said, yeah, Hab module. I'm sure. Let me just double check something. Edit action group. Ah. Did I not? Yeah, I did. Total antenna, total solar panel. Why is it confused? Right. Oh, it's not. Oh, that's why it's not. It's not commanded. Right. Just get them there. There we go. Right. Okay. That's why. I guess you can chill out in the command in the cupola module. Anyway, right. That's that done. So they're on the surface. That's generating power, and they're chilling out. Right. Let's switch back to our Skycrane. And hope the Kerbals are fine. I'm sure they'll be okay for an hour or two. Whilst we do the maneuver and then docking. I mean, I could have put a command pod on here, but that would have been boring. Oof, 2-second burn. Let's make that a lot more. I suppose that might be another way of doing it. Would be to have the cal controller control the throttle, like zero the throttle, the thrust limiter out for the engines I don't want to use. Maybe that would make it work better. 13-second burn, brilliant. Right, let's time warp there. Look at this thing. It's ridiculous. Should be about right. Right, so we're looking at Intercept 2, which currently has a 0.1 kilometers, 17.8 meters per second. This should be a relatively easy intercept. Right, so 1 hour and 8 minutes away. So let's go to about, well, an hour and 3, I think. Well, an hour and 6, an hour and 5, an hour and 4, an hour and 3. Let's warp there. Wow. There we go. Right. So in theory, this thing should be oh yeah, 5 kilometers away. So we're on target mode. We want to hit. I mean, 0.1. Yeah, we're 65 meters, so we just want to slow this bad boy down. Okay. Let's just nudge that back onto. Oh, I forgot to oh damn. I forgot to reset the thrust limiters. Oh shit, we're not gonna have much time to do this. Thrust limiter 33. 33. 33. Shit. So we might miss it. It's okay. As long as we zero out, we should. Like, as long as we're not actually going to physically hit it, which we're going to get close. Jesus Christ. This isn't going to be 30. 33. There we go. Right how far we are. Okay, 500 meters. Let's slow that right down. Okay, right. Let's make sure these are all 33. 33. 33. 33. Right, they're all. Okay, that's. Nearly had a problem there. Okay, we're a bit slow now, so let's pull our prograde onto it. We don't want to be too aggressive, but to be fair, I feel like we can just smack retrograde and just yeah, right. Whew. That was a bit hair raising. Let's at the risk of yeah, the risk of like time warp right close and then realize, oh shit, my engines aren't powerful enough to do the slowdown in time. Wait till we get to about here. Then what we do is we point the thing towards. We point this towards here. We deploy the fairing, so the fairing goes. Ideally, like, I don't think there's any physics in the fairing pieces, but I'd rather deploy it in like radially pointing away from the thing before we do anything else. And then we dock to the docking port that we popped on the side there is the plan, for which we don't need the engines for. So I say, yeah, we go about. I think here's like about 100 meters out, and we'll prep the thing ready for the docking procedure. Right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Right, cool. Let's keep this thing like this, so like the actual body of it is shielding it from the other thing. We do this. We hopefully let's yeah, let's try and point it roughly towards here, so that when we hit the so we hit the fairing, like none of the pieces go flying towards the again, I don't think there's any physics on it, but let's there we go. Right. Cool. So now what we do is we extend the ladder. Control from here. We then switch back to this. We control from here. Point to target. We go here. If we can see the other thing, like so, if we can get the docking port, we can set the docking port as target. Point our docking port at target. Like so. And then we switch back to this thing. Let's correct our rotation so that we all sort of like dock forwards. And we don't necessarily need to dock these things together, but and then hopefully now if we do if we just close the gap with RCS, so hopefully if we do this and we just let this thing nicely coax its way into the like so, and then like hope it can actually do the docking, but we'll see if it collides or not. If it can't do the docking, then we come to a halt nearby and we just EVA the Kerbals. But I'd rather be docked so that it's basically like attached. So I'll leave the engines. Turn off the engines, we don't need them. So go down to like about 20 meters or so. I do like this this camera feature. Maybe overdoing it a bit with the well, let's point yourself surveying. Yep. And hope that this docking actually works. Looks like it'll work. I'm hoping it will actually fit. Come on, magnets take over. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I won't quite do it. Well, it's trying, but yeah, it's not quite in contact. I will try and back us away. Okay, okay, now it's docked. Okay, so yeah, it wouldn't quite fit. Let's just get this over and done with before we get any horrendous physics bugs. Right, so pilot. Can I EVA you? Oh yeah, I think it's leave C, isn't it? Okay, let's this is a okay, right. Switch to U, activate RCS because you're floating away. Grab on, right, get in. Right, let's switch back to you because you need to get on board. So that was a bit hair raising. Managed to knock. So it's possible to knock them out the seat if I guess if they have too much G-force. So. Okay, right, and there's one more who needs to leave his seat and get a little bit Krakened. That's fine. Let's just have you grab onto there. Come up, climb aboard. Right, so we have all of our Kerbals on board our return module, which will hopefully not cause any issues when we're about to try and like decouple it and move it out. So our action group is currently set to. Let's make sure it's set to default. Right, so let's try undocking this. And just backing you away. I'll do. I don't really mind if they crash into each other after this point. So now is the potentially fun bit. Track the ladder. In theory, this should have ejection velocity of 0. So the next thing to do is to stage and with these. Although having said that, we do have 1384. We do have a lot of delta V in this stage, so I'm thinking if we take the entire thing back to Kerbin, put it on a collision course, then jettison this thing, and then use this to return. I think that's what we'll do. So this thing will go crashing back into Kerbin's atmosphere. Because again, this thing, I mean, it says 703, but it should 730 per second, but it should have way more than that after it. Again, might as well use the fuel we have. So let's have a look and do our Kerbin return. Well, actually, I suppose before that we'll switch to this thing and just get this thing on the collision course with Minmus. We're done with it. So SAS on, retro, make sure the retro is pointing away from this thing, which it is. And then that is the opposite of control from here. There we go, right. Let's rotate this round so that it will definitely collide with Minmus. Watch it fly away. So that thing will go careering into Minmus at some point. Don't so much care about it. Right, so you just want to make sure we don't collide with it. We want you to, whereas Minmus, we want to eject Minmus on Minmus's retrograde. So Kerbin is there, Minmus is going around that way, so we want to be going that way when we leave. So let's just do a maneuver like so. That's kind of the direction we want to be going. Periapsis of that, so we have a moon intercept, which is just great. There we go, right. This should give us another moon intercept. Get that Kerbin periapsis nice and low. $85 meters. 85 kilometers. And again, we should have enough to yeah. That'll do. Alright. 9-second burn. Point ourselves at the thing. Let's make sure we're going forwards. Let's control from here. Yeah, otherwise they're going to be trying to burn in the direction of the yeah, that makes more sense. Otherwise we would be doing a really weird thing, because we'd be still being controlled from the docking port, which we don't need anymore. And yeah, let's presumably that's about to go boom. There we go. turn on the lights in there. It's a bit silly to not have lights on. Again, I don't think they cause any issues with power consumption. Right, so we now have an escape trajectory and we have a return to Minmus with a periapsis of 85 kilometers. So now what we want to do is if we want to, I think it's tab, is it tab? New, Moho, Eve, Gilly, Kerbin, there we go. Sort of focus on Kerbin so that we can adjust this, because we're coming in at a bit of an angle, and I'm wondering if there's any way we can make that angle a bit better. Okay, interesting. So we get a periapsis of this, then we do there is a Mun periapsis, that we get an interaction with the Mun, which then puts it on a collision course. But I do kind of want to. Can I also do this? I kind of put this onto a re-entry. I want to put this on a re-entry trajectory, in the hope that so basically if anything goes wrong, we at least have the so the idea is that this thing will yeah, so we do this burn, we ditch the thing. The transfer stage should hopefully just burn up in Kerbin's atmosphere, with a periapsis of 35 meters. That should re-enter the atmosphere and either explode or whatever. We then either have enough delta V in the return stage to circularize and then choose our landing spot, or we don't, and then we re-enter anyway, which with the heat shield, which should be fine. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then I love that you get an interaction with the moon, which then just plonks us back in Kerbin, but that won't happen. So 1 second burn is a little bit. So I'm going to try and again aim for a 10-second burn. We're on 121. 10-second burn. 9 seconds. That's better. Right. So yeah, we're going to say goodbye to Minmus. We're going to do this Boyne. Where even is Kerbin right now? There's the moon. Beep. It must be over there somewhere. Oh, that's Minmus. No idea. Well, we've got 30 seconds for our burn, so I'm sure Kerbin will make itself known eventually. 26 seconds. Wait, 19-second burn. Is that right? 10, 10. It must have been a 1.9 second burn or something. Oh well, I mean, no, I'm happy with 19 seconds as well. Again, these kind of burns are pretty forgiving on the timing, I think. Right, so let's double check our trajectory. Periaps is 35k. Cool. So we're currently on a re-entry path. So, like, hopefully whatever happens now, let's point ourselves to normal. In the hope that we can hopefully detach ourselves. So in theory, assuming it doesn't go wrong, then we go the direction we want to go. Cool, and yeah, 1547, so we have plenty. But I'm happy to let this thing go careening into. Right, so we have our uh, return stage. So now that we have our return stage and we know we've got plenty of delta V in it, we can arrange a little yeah, 39. So let's pop ourselves. Let's not use that. We don't need that. Let's pop ourselves prograde. Let's just raise this a little bit. So hopefully, just to 75 or so, just out of the atmosphere. Also go to 80. Then we'll do our circularisation. Oop. Not quite so much. Okay, right, so that is fine. 48-second burn, 900, so that's going to be like half of our delta V, and then we just use the rest to pick our land. So we're going to try and come down somewhere nearby the Kerbal Space Center is the plan. So let's just go ahead and point ourselves at our... Oh yeah, let's also, I think we're on return to Skycrane. If we hit 0, that should, yeah, activate our solar panels so that we don't run out of power, because these things don't generate power when you burn them. Although we have plenty of electric charge by the looks of things. So yeah, there's Kerbin. Knew it was there somewhere. So let's time warp down to our burn. Oh, is there oh, okay, something's going off, but it hasn't. Okay, let's close that because we're five. We want to do this. We want to finish this mission. Then we'll go to the Junior ship, and hopefully that should have Alright, is there anything else going off soon? Okay, so we're 34 days, 37 days from Moho and Dres, so um, we still have time to let's close. Let's leave that open anyway, just so we remember to go to it. Let's do that time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. Uh, I swear that isn't intentional. Is there any desktop audio? I feel like there is. It seems to be, but I think it's just very quiet. Right, let's just see what happens when we actually do a burn. Yep, yep. Game audio is still working. It's just very quiet when the music's on, I think. Don't want to overdo this burn. 32 to 78 is fine. I mean, again, we don't need to be that circular because we are going to be deorbiting ourselves. Kerbal Space Center is there. It's probably still going to be in daylight on the which way we are going, that way around, which is good. Let's add our deorbit maneuver. Periaxis down to 35, as my usual, and then want the periapsis to be around. I usually try and aim. I try and aim for here because I keep seeing people say like aim for this peninsula. Or is it aim for this one? I can't remember. Because I mean, like in theory, well, I say the majority of like we'll start hitting the dense, like the atmosphere actually starts slowing us down about 50 kilometers, or is it like really starts, yeah. So what we'll do is again we just time warp close. We just time warp closer to the maneuver and then adjust for the Kerbin's rotation, basically. Right, so we try and position that over there. Just, oops, we'll augment it out. Readjust. Point in our maneuver. Let's just time warp down to the actual 4, 3, 2, 1. We just do a little, it's only 1 second burn, so we only need to do like a little tap. Cool, that'll do. So hit normal, so that when we can separate, we will time warp down to the Carmen line. So keep collecting solar power, although I think we should be fine. Yeah. We're about to hit start re-entry in a minute. Well, in a few seconds. When we do, we will stage. I don't think these are retractable, are they? No, they're not. We will stage, and then we will. Yeah. Okay. So let's stage now, and then let's pop ourselves retrograde. And then we will just fizz warp. And we will see where we come down. Should start seeing some fiery trails in a second. Okay, I think that's where the Kerbal Space Center is. So we'll see if we do actually come. We're probably going to overshoot. I hope we overshoot because otherwise coming down in a again, we should be fine. That's a big parachute. We've got 2 drogues, and again, it's just command pod of the thing, so it's like its terminal velocity should be relatively low, should be low enough for the drogues to take over. Okay, I think we're going to clear the mountains, which is good. I think that's that was a service. That was the engine module. Yeah, we're overshooting it by quite a bit. I have a feeling it might be the other peninsula because there's one that comes down from the north and one goes up from the south. And I feel like maybe it's the one coming down from the north you're supposed to do it at, but then not account for the, but then also account for the rotation. I think. Not be too far away. But yeah, we're now decelerating, going below hypersonic. This drogue should become safe to deploy at some point soon. Drogue's safe. Hit the drogues. We get down below supersonic. I think when we go subsonic, I think these parachutes become safe. So let's stage our main chutes. And we're going to be splashing down, which means we'll be a little bit kinder on the landing speed there. But again, I mean, this is a big ass parachute. We should be fine. There are all drogues. I think we just let aerodynamics do the rest now. There's our main. Okay, that's with the drogues. So when the main pops, hopefully we should get a nice, relatively low. Alright, so look, see. Ooh, it's a bit fast. Bit too fast for my liking. Let's just kind of a bit wary of this thing going a bit too fast, so I feel like I'm just gonna have these guys just in case this is going a bit like nines maybe. I feel like nine's a little bit above the impact tolerance of this. So if it's coming down on land, then I'd expect the thingy to explode. I mean, it might be okay with the thing, but I mean, I'd rather these guys come down with their own chutes because they'll definitely land safely that way, and I'll just go and recover them. Okay, it was fine, but I've never actually used like Kerbal's own parachutes before. Let's make sure these guys all go down. Have to recover our Kerbals. Turned out it was fine, but let's go and hold on. Let's go and fish them out of the water. Okay, where are they? They are Splashdowns somewhere. There they are. Right. Cover. Recover Tandu. And we'll recover this. Cool. Let's do the Skycrane is. Oh, okay, so it's I mean that should have burned up in the atmosphere. I feel like it wasn't subjected to physics, so it passed through the atmosphere. So I'm just gonna blow that up. Debris is there. We'll blow that up. That is the LES, isn't it? That's that's supposed to have blown up. Let's just pretend it did blow up. Blow that up. Due to line of debris, just to keep the keep everything tidy. Otherwise, we're gonna have issues. Right, low. KSS Pioneer. Let's pop to you. And we've got 40. We've got 50. We've got about 15 minutes of the stream left. Is the plan. So I guess we'll start. I'll make a start on modifying the design. So the plan is to take the Pioneer class and essentially modify its design. So this is going to be our generic, our generic design for like in a solar system. Because the idea is like this is going to be powered by solar panels, etc. And I feel like I kind of like this design. So first of all, we have this thing which is now a day out of date. So in theory, this should now be 491. So 8, 9, 500. Right now, let's transmit that. Let's see what we have power and transmit science. Cool. 499 science added. Well, that'll do. So we are still a good 33 days from our windows. So let's go on back to the SPAS Center. We do have a bit of science to spend, I think. So we can unlock a few more bits. Yeah, 1,000 science. What have we got in here we haven't unlocked yet? These are all 500. Advanced science tech is more experiments. Which I feel like is a good thing to get. We also start looking at mining materials. So we could get that. Advanced motors gives us bigger wheels, which I'm not that bothered about at the moment. Mantech gives us some better things. This gives us better communitrons, which I mean these will be useful for more deep space stuff. We can get one of these as well. So I'd say go for advanced science tech, so we can attach the gravity detector, which basically like I think that's most of our because I think experimental science only has resource scanning stuff, which doesn't have any science experiments. So if we grab this, we have 400 left, so we can grab one of these too. So we want heavy aerodynamics, gives us the space shuttle parts, or at least the start of them. Yeah, you get a whole load more for experimental aerodynamics. High altitude flight gives us the Mark II, some of the more of the Mark II parts. Yeah, which ooh, service module. Yeah, it gives us a few more options. So I'll probably grab this one for now, and then oh yeah, that gives us the we'll want that at some point, but we can't afford it at the moment. Cool, that'll do for that. Still got about 10 minutes, so if we head to the VAB. So yes, I was thinking like do you want to go Moho or Dres? And I feel like we can do both. Because we are on a science mode save, we don't have to worry about funds or Kerbal or like Kerbals. So my plan was to open up the going to tuner, because this contains essentially at the core of our with this thing still open for some reason. So at the moment I'm thinking if we get rid of all of this, get rid of that. So this is essentially our now one of the things I do want to do is I do want to replace, so the idea is we're gonna like add some upgrades to this with some of the newer parts, and this is going to become our well, Pioneer class. So the idea is like the first ship was the KSS Pioneer, that was a Pathfinder vessel. This is going to be, we're going to make some modifications because we've got some better parts now. Now I do want to add the shielded docking port here, but the problem with the shielded docking port is that you can't. There's no. It doesn't present an attachment point when you. So there's no easy way of. I guess we can. I guess we can have. We can close the fairing around it and then attach. Yeah, we can close the fairing around the front, and then because this thing's aerodynamic enough. So yeah, so we want to replace that. So we want to replace this with a big docking port. So the idea here is that like this will basically means that we can. The idea is behind the 2.5 meter docking port here is that we can, like, these ships are going to be reusable. So when they come back and they're done with their initial mission, and we can then dock a larger, like another fuel tank to the back to increase its delta V. So we set this to vacuum so that we know. So that's, we're already starting at 3,507 delta V. Now we're gonna. So we've done that. Do we have it? We don't have a better. No, we do have a better Unitron, don't we? Because we did replace that with so communication improvements. Get rid of that. Let's stick a bad boy on here. Open this up. We do have some better science. We have some more science to attach. So we now have the GravMax negative gravity detector, which will have a nice little home here. So we don't need this or this because these only apply to yeah, these only apply to atmospheric bodies. There is the magnetometer boom, which we do want to add, which I feel like adding it here was a good shout for the other ship. Makes it nice and easy to. So yeah, I think that's that's all the additional science experiments we need for like orbital science. We close this. Now I want to add and make a small. I want to make an addition because if we're going to go to Moho or one of these, we might need radiators because Moho is very close to the sun, and so things tend to run hot there. So I want to. I believe we have some. Yeah, we want a thermal control system. Do you want it large or electric charge, max cooling? I guess go for medium. So it means that we're going to have to move these because these aren't going to work here anymore. Put them up here. Okay, it's about as close as we're going to get it. So in theory now, if we extend these... So basically this means that, because like the nuclear engines might run hot if we're close to the sun. So the idea behind this is that we can extend these and we can extend these radiators to keep them cool if we need to. Right, what do we got in here? Okay, this is our thing. We don't necessarily... I feel like we can add a 4K battery bank to this. I do kind of want to replace this with an interstage fairing, I think. General idea being that I want to this whole thing out. Well, not quite all of it. We want this. Actually, do we have a better probe core now? Octo gives us the prograde retrograde hold. Whereas I think this normally just gives us, prograde retrograde. So this is a better probe core, so let's add this in. We want to add a more powerful reaction wheel, which we're just going to go here. And then let's add another 4K power bank. So we don't want this staged. We don't want this staged. We do want to build this. So there we go. Looks a bit odd, but it works. Then we don't need this anymore. I will pop this back on, like so. Basically, just gives us a bit of a thing. Let's configure vessel naming. Pioneer class, let's make that priority 1. Which basically, and then make sure that this fairing isn't staged. That's fairing isn't staged. This fairing is not staged. Cool. So we don't stage the fairings. So that's 8,000 power. It's probably enough, but we want to add a little more. I guess it wouldn't hurt to stick one in there as well. There we go, 12,000 power. Which would probably be enough. We've got bunch of solar panels for generating power. We are, what's our TWR is 0.66, which is alright. 3,336. So this is our base ship basically. So this is like the modified version of the yeah. Actually, let's make that black as well. Yeah, kind of like the black coloring. So yeah, this is our again like low carbon orbit ship. So I want to see if I can add like what. So we want so for Moho, my calculations are we need about 6,600 in theory to get to orbit. So we want like 12,000 to get there and back. So we have 3,000 at the moment. I want to see what it's like to start popping more fuel tanks on this thing, and then do the set up the. So we had a TD25 decoupler here. Make sure this is yep. We add a. Might as well go for one of these. So it's one of these fuel tanks. Oxidizer. Fuel priority is higher. And it seems rather confused as to it. Oh yeah, but the decoupler needs to allow crossfeed. There we go. So then it gives you an extra 900 delta V. So this is going to be diminishing returns as well. Let's have a look at. Let's add an engine plate with a docking port. Set that to short. Can you enable? Yes, I think the engine plate. Set this higher. I think it's like risks getting very, very long is my concern. I feel like maybe like attaching a like another drive section to yeah. Oh wait, this has still got no oxidizer in it. So yeah, so it's diminishing returns, and then like the they were like 0.49 thrust to weight ratio here. Which is my main concern. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a better solution to this. want to. Seven oh two, 796, 719, 0.44 delta V. Again, this isn't even getting good enough to get to Moho. Okay, yeah, we're going. Oh, well, we'll worry about like figuring this out at a later point. What we will do is we'll save this, and we will leave it there because it is now gone past 8 o'clock, and I don't want to do a 2-hour stream today. So, yeah, we've successfully returned people from Minmus, which is good. And we're looking at potentially going to Moho, although we might need to redesign the ship slightly for that purpose. But yeah, we will see what happens. We'll save the game. Save 28. We will quit to main menu, and I will do the whole like sign off thing because that's something that I do apparently. Back. Still no Moon Sandcastle. One day. Like I've had it show up quite a few times, and I played on my career mode save. And I'm a bit annoyed that it hasn't showed up yet. But one day it will. Anyway, yes, hope people have enjoyed watching some landing stuff on Minmus and doing a relief mission, and then getting a little bit sketchy about, a bit paranoid about the landing back on Kerbin. But there you go. Anyway, yeah. So I will hope. Well, so yeah, nothing on Thursday. If the next one will be planned on Sunday, normal time. Depending on whether or not other plans go into it, like come up. But I will amend my my streaming schedule as and when things happen. But yeah, I hope people have enjoyed, and yeah, catch you next time. Cheerio.